Welcome to the Profit by Design podcast. My name is Melissa Kay. I am the lead strategist with Tap the Potential, and joining me today is Kaitlyn Beaver, our Success and Connect team lead and how to hire the best strategist. And just a reminder, Dr. Sabrina is on her 4-week vacation and had to unexpectedly begin her vacation 2 weeks early. So she is out for about 6-7 weeks. And as you tune in to our podcast, please keep in mind that everything Kaitlyn and I have been sharing these past few weeks, today, and in the upcoming weeks is what our team is experiencing right now. We have all of the systems in place to run and tap the potential effectively and efficiently, and we've done so since the first day of Dr. Sabrina's absence, and we haven't missed a beat. In fact, our team had the time and space to really rally around one another for support and love, and rally around Dr. Sabrina in the midst of shifting things around and covering for her. And we also ran our week-long workshop, the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart, without her, which was a goal that we plan to implement in 2025, so a year from now. And in addition to having all of the systems in place and being able to run efficiently, we have this great team in place. I want you to keep in mind that when you implement the Tap the Potential solution, just as we have, this is going to help you grow the revenue, pay yourself appropriately, and be profitable for your business. You're going to be able to grow your business to the point where it actually has value if and when you should choose to sell it. And all of this can be done in just a few short years. So be sure to continue to tune in and learn how our team is a perfect example of implementing the Tap the Potential solution so that your business can run without you. And we're giving you the behind the scenes looks at how this actually works, how it's implemented. And by the way, we do greatly miss Dr. Sabrina. We always miss her when she's out on her 4-week vacation, and especially now. But our team is just so honored to be the support that she needs and the support that our clients need, because we do truly walk our talk, and we want to share with you all of the systems that we have in place so that you can take your life back from your business as well and improve the quality of your culture for your team members, as well as the delivery of service to your clients. And our team is so passionate about this and our belief that work supports life that we have dedicated this podcast series to you, our listeners, in hopes that you will join us in taking the 4-week vacation pledge so that you can focus on what matters most. And Kaitlyn, I'm going to turn it over to you for a special announcement for our listeners.
Thank you, Melissa. I am so excited to be here to share this message with our listeners today. And if you're tuning in, and you're ready to put your stake in the ground and take your life back from your business, now is the time to do it. During the month of July, we are running a 4-week vacation pledge-a-thon. And if you are ready to set up a business that is sustainably profitable and less dependent on you, we invite you to pledge your commitment to taking a fully unplugged break from your business. When you do this, I will be reaching out and asking you what challenges you're having as you're trying to free up time and space from your business. You'll even get resources to help support you in your journey, and we will cheer you on your way. And the cool part, when we receive 100 pledges, you will get a chance to win a free pass to our How to Hire the Best course. Why? Our How to Hire the Best course will help you hire and retain A players in your business, which makes it possible for you to take your vacation. You don't want to miss this. Head on over to tapthepotential.com/pledge. There is no cost associated with this offer. We want to support you on your journey to designing a sustainably profitable business that gives you more time for what matters most and really sets your team up for success. So last week on the podcast, we talked about taming your gremlins and claiming your freedom. And you can do this by letting go of excuses, learning to delegate, and understanding how to trust your team to run your business. Like Melissa said, each week we've been giving you the behind the scenes to how this 4-week vacation became possible for Tap the Potential. So tune into those episodes. Today, we are going to share how to strengthen your business by working less. You're going to learn the most effective thing you can do for your A players, what to work on in your business, and most importantly, what not to work on in your business. So Melissa, to kick things off, what is the most effective thing that we can do for our A players?
The most effective thing that we can do for our A players is circling back to what we discussed the past couple of weeks, and that is having a very clear vision and a mission for your business. If you don't know where you're going, any bus is going to take you there, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You and your team members need to know what that destination is. And not only that, where they sit on the bus. So without a clear vision, you are essentially throwing spaghetti at the wall every day. You know, you're spinning your wheels, you're staying in this survival trap because you're focusing on things in areas, whether it's your delivery, your sales, and your marketing, where you're just trying things out and you're really not being effective with payroll dollars. You're not being effective with the money that your clients are entrusting with you, right? And you're also never going to reach your goals. You don't know what those goals are. So how do you reach them? So the biggest thing that you can do for your A players is to write that vision statement for your business and share it with your team members and ensure that in that vision, you have a clear path for your team members to succeed.
Right. And I think what's so interesting about this piece at Tap the Potential, when we heard our company vision, there was also a part where Dr. Sabrina detailed and described how our role fits into the bigger picture of the company's vision. That's incredibly impactful for your A players to really understand how they fit in to where it is that your business is headed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, you know, at Tap the Potential, you're hearing us say this all the time. Our team members work a 25-hour work week. And the phenomenal thing about the 25-hour work week is we are constantly reevaluating what we're doing. And we're going to share with you today how we are evaluating our time so that we can show up and work 25 hours, because we're not taking on extra tasks and responsibilities and doing things that are not pushing the business forward to fulfill that vision that we've created. So we're excited to get into that discussion today and share with you all of the things that we look at when we're prioritizing what to do and also identifying what not to do. Kaitlyn, you are a total A player and you're very task focused. You and I have this conversation all of the time where I'm thinking very high level and I forget to break down tasks for you. So please share with everyone, what is the most effective way to support a team member such as yourself who's very task driven?
That's such a great question. You know, from my personal experience, I've taken time to really work with team members to help them understand that sometimes I need to slow things down a little bit, ask clarifying questions, because as a task-oriented person, and really any A player on your team needs to know what's expected of them. But when I am in the weeds and you're more on this higher level with your strategic thinking, the more that I can ask these clarifying questions and I can understand the context behind what it is that we're working on,
Mm.
This can help set me up for success. And as a team, we've really taken time to understand our personality types and how we best communicate and how we work best so that we're more collaborative and we're more efficient.
Mm.
And as a task-oriented person, I want to have those clear expectations for every task that I'm doing. The most powerful activity that we did together when I started working at Tap the Potential was leveraging the $10,000 an hour activity chart. And if you don't already have this downloaded, our business owners use this, but I think sometimes our A players and leaders don't have this tool, and it can be a game changer for having these conversations around what are the most important tasks that are going to move the business forward. So if you can really identify what are the tasks that are profit producing, give clear expectations around those tasks, and then help hold us accountable as A players to accomplishing those things, then that can really set us up for success. And our tasky people, we're going to want to get into the weeds. We're going to have questions. We're going to want to connect dots so that we can then pull ourselves out and understand what steps need to be taken in order for us to accomplish our task. So just having that understanding that everyone on your team has a different personality type and needs support in different ways is really helpful. But if they're anchored in what their expectations are, what their $10,000 an hour activities are as well, and they're consistently finding ways to reflect on the time that they're taking in the activities, the action that they're taking each week, and whether or not that's pushing the business forward, that will all work together and have this cumulative impact over time where your team will be set up for success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really comes down to having the clear expectations for your team member, having the key result, and then having KPI, key performance indicators that your team members are responsible for. And everything is going to be pulled from there. And the next step is to make sure you're having regular meetings with your team members. So in addition to team meetings, one-on-one meetings is so critical to make sure that you do have those communication lines open. And I love that you're bringing up the personality types. We use the people map and Tap the Potential. And I know, Kaitlyn, what is your people map type?
Mine is task people.
Okay, so mine's people leader. So the way that we show up, the way that we do things, the way that we process information is so different, but also the way that you can successfully communicate with us is very different. So understanding your team member's personality is really, really vital to working successfully with them and communicating. So, Kaitlyn, most business owners come to us saying they're really afraid to let go of the tasks in their business. And a lot of entrepreneurs, we're control freaks, right? But we need to recognize that by delegating, and first off, we shouldn't be wearing all of the hats, but by delegating, we're creating opportunities for our team members. So what would you tell team members and leaders and owners of businesses to support them in helping them letting go of tasks?
First, let me start off by saying this. A players are whole, competent human beings. They show up to work eager to move your business forward. They're communicative, they're collaborative, they're problem solvers, and they want to be challenged. And if this doesn't describe people on your team, then you have warm bodies. And warm bodies will come to the business and can accomplish technical tasks, but that's it. So if you don't have A players, then we just need to talk because that's really important when it comes to letting control, right? And trusting that you have high performers on your team that can continue to carry the business forward, support your clients, support your team, on and on. However, if you have this hiring system in place and you have A player team members, then what I would tell those business owners, that it's important to be intentional about training and nurturing your A players. So when you have these high performers in your business, you have to create opportunities for them to problem solve and accomplish tasks so they can build trust with you and confidence within themselves. I want you to think about all relationships that you create, right? You have to set up opportunities to build trust. It's the same thing with our team members. So if we don't create those opportunities for you to build trust within your relationships and see your A players in action, making decisions that are in alignment with your immutable laws, demonstrating that they understand your vision and they're working on their 10K an hour activities to move the business forward. If you don't see these things in action, it can be hard to build that trust, right? And then, like you had said, it's really important to meet with your A players on a regular basis. You do want to have one-to-ones so that you can do a couple of things. You want to be able to share your wins. You want your A players to be able to ask questions so they can troubleshoot the challenges and the barriers that they're facing, whatever their responsibilities might be in the business. And this also gives you an opportunity to identify areas for growth. That's really important too, because our A players thrive when they understand what's expected of them. They have opportunities to ask questions around the tasks that they're learning how to complete. And then they also have an opportunity to get support and encouragement and positive reinforcement around the things that they are doing well. So when we have those regular one-to-one check-ins, which I'm sure you can understand, business owners come to us all the time and they say, we don't have the time for meeting on a regular basis. And we understand that. So it's all about taking those small steps forward and finding a structure that works for you and for your A player so that you can start bringing these one-to-one check-ins into the day-to-day of your business so that they have what they need to be successful. And you have what you need to be able to trust that they've got your back. They've got your team's back. They've got your clients' back.
Yeah. So Kaitlyn, let's talk about autonomy for a moment. This is so important, and I believe it's the key to our success on our leadership team at Tap the Potential. Dr. Sabrina gives us full permission to prioritize our tasks, and everything is based on our meeting our key results and our key performance indicators. So Dr. Sabrina, there was a period a while back, I think it was a couple of years ago, where I was extremely overwhelmed by the amount of tasks that I had sitting in our project management tool. And every time I opened it up, I saw red. It was deadline overdue. And it really stressed me. And after a few times, Dr. Sabrina just said, Melissa, I am not sitting at home at night thinking about all of the tasks that you have undone in Asana. I'm thinking about, I know I have full faith and confidence in you to prioritize your tasks. And I know that you are working on the most important things. And that was a turning point for me. It was a complete game changer. And having the permission and authority to be able to look at what I'm most responsible for delivering within the company, and then having that freedom to be able to choose what I'm working on so that I'm meeting that key result is vital to the success as an A player. And I'm curious about your feedback. Do you feel the same way? Does that resonate with you? How does that show up for you?
That's such a great question. I think it's twofold. So when I'm thinking about my role, it's really evolved over time. When I came to Tap the Potential, I was a success concierge. It was a new role to the company. And there was a lot of trial and error. We were implementing a lot of new processes and trying new things that tap the potential. And we always had to take time to pause and reflect on whether or not our activities were profit producing. That's the important thing, right? Because we have so many different activities that we could be working on, but what is actually giving us a return on our invested time, resources, and energy? And so I think for me, first, it was that mindset piece that you're referring to. As a tasky person, there is nothing better than checking off my to-do list. That is my favorite thing in the world to do. However, I had to train myself to take pause at the end of each week and make sure that all the activities that I was doing was actually getting me closer to my KPIs so that I could hit my metrics and my key results. So the mindset piece was one thing. And then the second was really thinking about, okay, I have a specific number of hours each week. I'm a how to hire the best strategist. I'm a success and connect team lead, which means that I oversee our sales and our marketing departments. Now, when it comes to my key result, the most important thing that I am focused on is really generating sales for our company. So when I think about all of the different tasks that I have to get done on a week-to-week basis, I have identified with our leadership team what are the key actions that are going to help us reach our goals, so that even if I can't do one of the tasks on my list, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm working on activities that are profit producing. And it comes through a lot of open dialogue and communication. It also comes through each quarter when we do a time audit together as a team and really identify what activities are helping us to achieve our goals versus what activities we can really let go of. And when you balance this and you're consistently finding time to check in with team members and leadership team members to see where your time is, where your focus is, and you hone in on what's working and what's not working, then over time you can continue to narrow that focus. And you guys gave me such powerful questions that I could be asking myself during the time audit to really understand whether or not these key activities were profit producing, or if we need to reevaluate where my focus is at. So there's a couple of different things happening at one time. I feel like there's your mindset, and then there's also really understanding your time, how you're tracking it, and what's most effective.
This is great. So let's talk about, how do you know what to work on, what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing? And how the heck do you get to a 25-hour work week or a 4-day work week, whatever that looks like? And it comes back to the steps that we mentioned earlier, and that's having a vision in place for your business so you know exactly where you're going. Everything that you do should be based on that vision. So each team member, including you as a business owner, has a key result that you are responsible for delivering. And then each role has a key performance indicator for your role or your department. So everything that you do, your key result and your KPI, should be reflected in that vision. So remember, everything that you're doing in your role or your team members is doing in the role is supporting that vision. The key result lets your team members know exactly what they're responsible for delivering. And then the KPIs is the tool that we use to measure the success. All of these are centered around the sweet spot of your business and focused on serving your ideal clients, not your PETA clients, your ideal clients. And remember that you are aligning everything that you do with your immutable laws, how you show up for your team members and how your team members are showing up for one another. So everything that you do should be based on this. And the time audits are so important, and you can download your strategic planner at tapthepotential.com/plan. And inside that planner, there is a sample time audit. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's not fun. Unless you're very tasky like Kaitlyn is, you're probably not going to enjoy doing it. Yeah, I don't. And I do get a lot of pushback from our clients on doing the time audit, because you are in real time, real life, every day for a week or up to 2 weeks. My time audits are 2 weeks because 1 week I'm heavy on meetings. But you're going to write down everything that you're doing throughout your entire day. And you can do this manually. You can handwrite it out, or you can use an app, which is what I prefer. If you're using QuickBooks, you could use it in QuickBooks. You can use a third-party app like Harvest, but really write down everything that you're doing. And first, you're going to be surprised at the amount of context switching that's happening. But here's the questions that Kaitlyn was referring to that we really want you to be asking yourself. When you review back this time audit, does this activity result in me meeting my KPIs? Could this be done more effectively? I love the next two questions that I'm going to share, and they are, can someone else do it? And am I the right person to do it? Can this be outsourced? So there's many things that we're doing when we're reflecting back to our time that we should not be doing. Kaitlyn mentioned earlier the $10,000 an hour activities, and you can grab yours for free over at tapthepotential.com/10K. And that's going to let you know, that puts a value on your activities so that you can determine, should you be working on those? And remember, as you're thinking about your team members, a lot of times when we have an A player who's suddenly not performing, or someone on our team where we know that they have the potential to be an A player and things just aren't getting there, or you have someone on your team where things are just falling off and balls are getting dropped, always look back to your systems, because likely there's a gap in the system, or your team members are just doing too much. And your A players need to be continuously challenged, but they need to work in their flow. So if you're taking them out of the flow, right now, if you added a lot of tasks to my plate that were not even necessarily in client delivery, or maybe they were, but it's not in my zone, what I should be working on, you're taking away precious time from me, and my morale is going to start going down. I'm not going to be showing up full in, working on my key performance, my key results, because I'm going to be so distracted. So that's the beauty, again, of the 25-hour work week. We have to innovate, and we really have to be extremely intentional with our time. And because if not, we're not going to be able to stay in that time that we have allotted and stay in that bandwidth. And we push back each other on our leadership team. And when we have a great idea, we say, okay, what are you going to let go of in order to do this new thing? And I love that. It challenges me continuously, because one, I'm either going to say, okay, yes, it's not in my bandwidth, I can't do it, or I love this idea so much and I really believe that it's going to help me drive my KPIs. I'm going to figure out something I can delegate, and then something that I can let go of. And then I'm back doing a time audit again. And I'm continuously freeing up time on my calendar. And when I'm freeing it up, I'm not then working less than 25 hours. I'm adding on higher value activities. So I challenge you all to conduct a time audit. And if you have any questions, shoot us a message. Feel free. Just, send me an email, melissa@tapthepotential.com, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have and invite you over to our next Jumpstart. I think that we've shared a lot here about what you should be focused on, and let's talk about other things that you should not be doing. Remember the 80-20 rule. 20% of your activities is going to account for 80% of your results, right? So the key to following that 80-20 rule is to identify roughly 20% of your actions that are leading to the most success. And the reason why we focus on wins so much at Tap the Potential is because that's where we need to be focusing on. That's the results that we're getting. So being intentional about sharing wins on your team is important. And this can be in your team meetings or in your one-on-one meetings. And the other thing to really ask yourself is, what is the one thing that's going to make everything else easier or even completely unnecessary? So many times we're looking at doing 20 things when we really could just focus on one or two and be very effective. And if you've been procrastinating on doing something, just stop and ask yourself, is this really necessary to meet your goals? If you've been procrastinating on a long time, either there's something else in your business that really needs a higher priority, or simply it's pulling you away from your vision. So go back and ask yourself, is this necessary? And is this a part of the vision for my business? So Kaitlyn, I'm curious, do you have anything else to add here? And what is your key takeaway from our discussion today?
I would say teach your A players to be thinking this way as well. So when we just walked you through what you should not be doing, teach your A players this too, so that they understand the 80-20 rule and they understand what questions they can be asking themselves, whether it's the time audit or it's on something more specific that you are working on delegating to them. But teach them these things so that they can think like you would as the business owner, as the leader, because that will continue to set them up for success. And I think we had a jam-packed episode. Today, we talked about how to strengthen your business so that you can work less. And we talked about the most effective thing that you can do for your A players, how to know what to work on, but most importantly, what a lot of people lose sight of, what you need to be doing. If these last couple weeks have been resonating with you, we invite you to take the 4-week vacation pledge. If you're ready to put your stake in the ground and take your life back from your business, now is the time to do it. During the month of July, we are running a 4-week vacation pledge-a-thon. So if you're ready to set up a business that is sustainably profitable and is less dependent on you, pledge your commitment to taking a fully unplugged break from your business. When you do this, our team will reach out to you. We'll ask you what challenges you're having as you are trying to free up more time from your business. And we'll even send you resources that will support you along your way and cheer you on as you're doing it, because we want to celebrate that you're working to design a sustainably profitable business. And the cool part, when we receive 100 pledges, you will get a chance to win a free pass to our How to Hire the Best course. Why? Our How to Hire the Best course will help you hire and retain A players in your business, which makes it possible for you to take that 4-week vacation. So head on over to tapthepotential.com/pledge. Join us next week as we discuss how to prepare your team for your 4-week vacation. We're going to break down the logistics of setting up your team, your systems, and communication. See y'all next week.